Hey, what's going on? I'll get straight to it. So I'm going to show you how to not waste your money when it comes to direct mail. A lot of plumbers out there are having these direct mail campaigns and these mailers and these postcards, and they're sending them, and they are going to end up in the trash. I mean, think about it. Think about what happens. We get so much junk mail digitally, and then we also get a lot of junk mail, like a lot of physical junk mail. And when you get something that you know is an advertisement or you know is not a real letter, what do? You throw it away, right? You get a postcard, and if it's not from somebody that you don't know, it's not something personal, it's not somebody announcing the birth of a baby or announcing a wedding shower or a wedding or whatever. When it's a postcard that's clearly from a business, what do? You throw it away. You barely glance at it. The only time you'll ever glance at it is if it's timely and relevant. Like, for example, if you are in the market for new windows and you finally get you get a mailer that is talking about windows and some deal, then you might look at that, but you had to be in the market for it. With plumbing, it's not like that, man. People are not always in the market for plumbing. Plumbing is a reactive thing. It's not a proactive thing. People call you when the crap has hit the fan. That's not. I can't really say literally, but you get what I'm saying. People call you when something bad has happened, and you don't have time. They're not going to sit there and wait for a mailer or wait for the best deal they can to solve some kind of emergency issue they have in their home. And when they get these mailers, like I just pulled my mail. When I got some stuff, I got some stuff from the bank or whatever. I'm going to read that. I'm definitely going to read, going to read my bank statements and stuff. But like you get something like this, where it's like you can't. It's like a card, right? It's not even in an envelope. You get something like that. It's a card. It's not even in an envelope. I know that this is something I am going to throw away. So how do you make sure that the stuff that you mail out actually gets read and it doesn't get thrown away? Well, to do that, it goes back to this point I always make. You gotta think like an entrepreneur. Don't think like a plumber. A plumber's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna send them a postcard that talks about me and me and me and me and the deal that I have for them. An entrepreneur is gonna find a way for them to not only get their mail, but open it and read it. An entrepreneur is going to think through that. A plumber is just going to send it out and it's going to get thrown away. An entrepreneur is going to think about the steps and make sure that somebody gets it, opens it, and reads it. And here's a way that you can do that. Let me reiterate my point. A plumber is going to send something to people who are highly likely not to buy, highly likely to throw your mailer away, and definitely not likely to remember you. Whereas an entrepreneur is going to send their mail to people who are likely to buy, likely to open it. They're going to not only read what's in there, but they're going to keep it, and then they're probably going to remember you. And this is how. This is how the entrepreneur thinks. First of all, you don't just send mailers out. You don't just send, like if I have a plumbing company, I'm not going to send a bunch of just random mailers out to let people know that I'm in this city and I service this city or whatever. That stuff's going to get thrown away. I am going to mail people who've already worked with me. Why would I do that? It is easier to get a repeat sale than it is to get the first sale. So if I've had people who've been working with me for years, I'm going to mail them. If I've had people who just now worked with me recently, the last 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, I'm going to mail them. I'm not just going to send them anything. I'm going to give them a gift. I'm going to give them a free gift. And why would I give them a gift versus a postcard? Well, because they get something in the mail that looks like a gift. What are they going to do? They're going to open it. Let me tell you why. You're looking at a bunch of mailers, like a bunch of poly mailers on my screen. I would buy one of these poly mailers, a little small, mailer package, right? Because if you get a little poly mailer package in the mail, there's something in it. And by the way, make sure whatever you put in it has kind of like a thud factor, like something that has a little bit of weight or has some shape to it. You don't want to put a card in a poly mailer because it feels like nothing. They'll still open it, but they're not going to be as curious as they would be if there was an actual item in there. They can't make out what it is, but they have a poly mailer that has something in it. And you can get one of these poly mailers. If your company has a blue color, then get a blue poly mailer. If your company has green, get a green one. If that's kind of you. If you're looking at the screen, it's probably something that stood out to you, and it's this right here. I'm not saying that you need to go and get pink poly mailers with lightning bolts on them, but if you do, you're genius. But the reason why I say that is because not only did you get somebody something like a mailer that they're like, what's in this? Your packaging is going to be like, what the heck? Like you want them to be like, what the F? You want that. Your traditional, some plumbers, I tell them that and they're like, oh no, I'd be more conservative, and that's fine. As long as you do this, I don't care what mailer you use. But if you're thinking like an entrepreneur who's thinking like a marketer who's like, hey, I need to like snap them out of it. When they're going through mail, I want them to snap out of their trance and be like, what the heck is this? Well, the first thing is first. Not only do you give them a mailer, you gave them some mailer that has some crazy design on it. I don't even like this, but I would use this. Why? Because it's crazy. If I don't use that one, I'm going to use some version of some mailer as long as it's affordable, right? As long as it makes sense. I think, yes, I'd find a cheaper one than this. But I would find a mailer that gives them that what the F factor when they get it. They're like, what is this? That's what you want. So now you have their attention. They're going to open this thing. You're already ahead of 99% of the people in your area. When I say people, I mean plumbers. You're already 99% ahead of all the plumbers in your area who are mailing because they're not getting people to stop in their tracks and be like, what the heck? All right, so after they open it, I'd have something like this. Okay, you're looking at a site. This site is called Alibaba. You can go and buy things wholesale for cheap or whatever. Like if you buy bulk, you can get it for relatively cheap. So for me, I want to give my customers something that has perceived value, like a high perceived value, and something that they will keep always. Okay, so perceived high value and something they will keep. You don't want to send them a pen with your company name on it. They'll just get the pen, they'll open the mailer, which good, you got them to open it. They see this pen, it's kind of anticlimactic, and then they're like, what the heck, right? But you want them to open this mailer, have curiosity from your mailer and open it. You want to have a gift in there, and you want to have some kind of note. All right, so let's start with the gift. Again, a gift that has perceived high value and something they're going to keep. So I'd get these knives. So I pay whatever, I might find these, you can get these for like $1 or something, so you probably can get it cheaper. But let's say that you go and you get, you order knives like this, and look, you can get them customized. You can have customized logo. You can have this knife with your brand on it. Now think about that. They get this mailer, and they're like, what the heck is this? They open it up, and it's a cool looking knife that has your brand on it. Are they going to throw that away? At the very least, they're going to keep it because it's a knife, man. They might not even care about your brand. They're going to keep it because you just gave them a free knife. It costs you sub $2. I would pay $2 to have permanent real estate in somebody's home any day, especially somebody who's already spent money with me. Okay, not just some random person. This is somebody who's already spent money with you, and you send them this knife with your company logo on it. And then they open the note. The note is not some fancy typed up beautiful thing. No, you get a regular white piece of paper and you type on there. And maybe you open with a funky, dumb dad joke like, hey, got you this knife because we want to remind you that we're a cut above our competition. And then you make some joke about it being a dad joke. Whatever you say, but you want to inject personality. Like they know that they're talking to a real person, or a real person type it. You don't want to be like, we got this knife because here at Butch and Butch Plumbing, we believe that blah, 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 and our mission statement. They don't care about that, man. Talk to them like you want to be talked about. Give them a dad joke that's dumb and admit that it's dumb and make some kind of joke about it or something. Whatever your personality is, injected in that opening. Now, the very first thing you say needs to have some personality. And then you thank them. I just want to thank you for, maybe make it specific. Hey, thank you for letting us come in. Dan, really enjoyed working with you. Or it could just be a general thing that you say to everybody, but you want to have something opening that is personable, that shows them you're a real person. Thank them for being a customer. Say, oh, hey, hope to see you again in the future. That's it. And it's a regular white piece of paper that you type, you fold it, and then here's another key point. Make sure you sign it by hand. Now, once you've done that, give me one sec. So now, not only have you given them a mailer that they've opened, you've given them a mailer that sparked some curiosity, that gave them a free gift, that had a personalized letter that you signed by hand. I can't stress it enough. At least sign it by hand. You could, type up the letter, make it can be generic, and it can be it could say kind of the same thing that you sent to all the customers. Just make sure you change up their first name. So, hi Bob, or hi Mary, or hi Jane. And it has all the same type of, content, or the same type of copy, or same message that you would say to everybody. And then at the end, you sign it, right? So you open it with their name, some kind of personalized, whatever first sentence or first paragraph that just shows that you are not personalized, but personable. First sentence or first paragraph that shows you're a real person. You thank them, and then you sign it by hand, right? You're going to stand out. You're going to stand out, especially to somebody that you've already done business with, and hopefully you've already satisfied them. They're going to be likely to remember you next time they have a plumbing need. Why? Well, they're going to keep this knife. They're going to have it. At the very least, they're going to gift it to somebody else. Regardless, you have an object that takes up permanent real estate in somebody's home. If they're like me, they're always going to carry a knife. It'll always be in their pocket. Imagine if you could always be in your customer's pocket. Somebody who's already given you money, and you're just always like a subtle reminder that you're there. So as soon as they have a plumbing need, who are they calling? The person who's been in their pocket for the last year or 2 years or 3 years, the person who gave them a knife that they can keep using. They'll remember you. So that's just one example. That's not the only way to do it. I've given our clients, speaking of our clients, my name is Chris Gray. I co-own a plumbing marketing company where we help plumbers make a lot of money by giving them tips like this. You don't have to do exactly what I just said, but take the principle of what I said. Don't go out and mail a postcard or some kind of mailer or do what all the other plumbing companies in your area are doing. They're doing that because a lot of those plumbing companies, they are plumbers. They are plumbers running a plumbing company. You want to run laps around them? Be an entrepreneur who has a plumbing company. Big difference between those two. And the entrepreneurs who run plumbing companies run laps around the plumbers who have plumbing companies. I'm giving you tips on how to think like an entrepreneur, how to think like a better marketer when it comes to your plumbing business. So I hope this tip helps you make more money, and watch my next video if you like this one. All right, thanks. Bye.